I guess it's not another time guys here. I guess doing Amazon here they give you guys a manga review, which is basically businesses and spaces it says right here. It says I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class. Second prettiest girl in my class. This is the volume looks like. So you guys can see that. Really, I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyways, this is the glare of the sun. Not like showing it really all that much. Excuse me, I do apologize for that. Anyways, the original story is by Rin Ono and Ono Takani. I do forgive me for that. The character design is by Azuron Hogi Hayogi. Um, I do believe that's how you pronounce it. But so the storyline is just basically from Rin Ono. So I guess therefore I do apologize for that. I'm not very good at pronouncing names really all that much and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I have to say, this manga is definitely is very good. And to be honest with you, I'm just gonna be honest, just to be honest with everyone and stuff like that. If you guys don't know me, I'm a sucker for slice life and romance and stuff like that. I really am. And it's something I definitely do like, something I definitely do admire, and it's something that I definitely do think that it's really based really on. She is this girl. She is very very cute. She's very very cute. I'm not gonna lie. I have fallen in love with her when I start reading this manga, and I think she's gonna be one of my new waifus and stuff like that for this year, and basically upcoming for next year also as well too. I have a feeling this would get an anime here in the future, which I definitely will, which I definitely do think that it would definitely will. Now this manga is also by from Yen Press also as well too. Now, I didn't buy this one from Books and Million, but I bought this from Amazon. I just want to say thank you to Amazon, which I'm a big distributor when it comes to buying stuff and stuff like that from Amazon. Usually I don't buy really a whole lot of stuff from Amazon, but usually sometimes I do, usually sometimes I don't. It really just depends. It just really basically depends. But I'm trying to be more distributor when it comes to Books and Million and stuff like that and this and stuff like that. And if you guys are kind of wondering, this man right here, if you guys don't know him, if you guys can't see him, he is the main male. He is, excuse me, not, yeah, he's the main male protagonist. She is the main female protagonist, and basically that's she really she is. And let me give you guys a little summary and stuff like that, just basically what it says here on the back and stuff like that, just for people to really basically understand. Because usually summaries usually basically give it a good preface to stuff like that. What the manga is basically really all about is stuff like that. So yeah. So it says high school is a fresh start for most people, but not like Maki Maki, which that basically his name. He's the main protagonist. Motorhan, he always has been being a loner. He knows that this year isn't going to be any different, and expect that Motorhara seems to change even 6 months in until he runs into a classmate Yumi, which is basically the main female protagonist, and runs into his classmate into Umi was Aki-san at the video store, always at the center of attention. Rank second prettiest girl in the class by the boys. Aki-san is from a totally different world, but it turns out the two has some things in common, and not by the B movies. They came to rent when they become friends in secret. Waharan discovers his days about getting a little colorful, So I think that basically what it means is basically that it basically means is that he kind of runs into her and stuff like that, and basically he runs into her basically into a shop or something like that, or basically I would say maybe like a store or something like kind of like a blockbuster, basically kind of like a store, and basically he just goes basically just rents movies and stuff like that. Basically, usually as he's basically doing. If you guys never heard of Blockbuster is a place, where you could basically rent video games or rent video games, rent movies, and stuff like that. You could pretty much rent anything that you really pretty much that you really want to rent. I mean, not rent. Pretty much you want to rent, and but it comes at a price tag and it's very expensive, and it's not cheap. And it's not. It's really is not cheap at all. And really it's not. But I personally what I want to say here is that like I said, for this girl right here, she's very adorable. She's really is very very cute. I think she's gonna be one of my favorite new waifus and stuff like that. I really definitely do like her and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I definitely do like girls with short hair. I don't know why I do. I just do because I always find them they're just so adorable. They're just so cute. They're really obvious and stuff like that. I just don't know why I like girls with short hair. It's something that I definitely do like. It's something that it basically feels to me. It's the kind of thing that I like about a woman and stuff like that. I don't mind a woman with long hair and stuff like that. I really don't mind. And I really don't. But when I ran across this manga, when I saw this and stuff like that, I usually go on to the Right Stuff's website, or I would say Crunchyroll store and stuff like that. To be honest, I don't like going to Crunchyroll store really that much. Anyways, if I really want to buy an anime that I definitely want to buy because I know some of their stuff are really kind of cheap. To be honest, you should be fair, just to be real with people and stuff like that. The last time I tried to buy something from their websites and stuff like that, they couldn't ship my stuff out sooner as I expected. I really wanted it to. I have nothing. I have no personal grudge against them or anything like that. I just have such a big major problem with their shipping and stuff like that and this and stuff like that because it took them almost a month for them to ship out the stuff for me that I wanted to be shipped out, and I was not very happy about it, and I was very very upset and stuff like that. But they couldn't get me a refund basically and stuff like that. But I don't want to make that video whole basically about that. But I do respect the products and stuff like that. I do like Crunchyroll Store, I really do, but I really would hope that they will basically just ship out basically a lot more things. When I go on their website, I usually use that to find other different mangas and stuff like that. To basically go on Amazon and basically buy their stuff because Amazon usually it's a little bit more expensive, but I can deal with that. I can deal with it because I kind of like Amazon because I definitely do because that's something I definitely do like. Now, when it comes to Books a Million, I definitely love Books a Million the most because I love going there. I really do. I can find all different kind of genres and mangas and stuff like that. I really love the place. I really do. I adore the place really a lot and stuff like that. You can get pretty good discounts and stuff like that from their from their place and stuff like that. Especially their online stuff like that. Especially this holiday season also as well too. That you can get really good discount, really good. I mean, very extremely good discount from Books and Money. Books and Money is definitely is the best place to go. I think it's a lot more better than going to the Crunchyroll store, or I would say Right Stuff Anime also well too. And I remember back in near the time they used to do like phone calls. We used to like answer your phone call. And they asked and they and they would ask you like what seems to be the problem or anything like that. But they don't do that anymore. They really don't. I felt that was kind of very disappointing in a way to me, if that's what it felt to me. But anyways, if you guys really wonder what this manga is based on about, like I said, it's about the main protagonist. His name is Maki Maharu. That's I definitely think that's how you pronounce his name. Maki is basically kind of considered as basically as a name, maybe it's for a girl or maybe like for a guy, maybe kind of similar basically as for a girl. I mean, forgive me, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I think that Maki is kind of like considered as basically as for a girl's name. That's my opinion. That's what I definitely think. But I guess Maki can be used as just for based for a genre, based or just for a guy. I guess I don't know, or for a boy or something like that. It doesn't really matter to me or something like that. And then stuff like that. You take it as for me, stuff like that. My name is James. That's just personally my name. That's personally my name. Most of my family members love to call me Jamie really all the time. I like being called Jamie. I really definitely do because Jamie is basically considered as for a girl's name and stuff like that because that's what a lot of people really like to call me. But then I kind of grew out of basically being called Jamie and stuff like that. But I don't mind being called Jamie really a lot because it's the affection that I'm used to basically having from my family calling me that because I prefer my family to call me that. Prefer to have my family call me that instead of just not just basically James and stuff like that because that's just my name. If you want to know my full name is James Frederick England III, which basically my dad was James Frederick England Jr., which he's basically second generation of the family. And then my grandpa was first generation. I'm the third generation of my family, which I'm proud of my heritage and stuff like that. And I'm really proud of that, and there's nothing really wrong to be proud of that heritage and stuff like that. But I think Maki is definitely is a very good name to me. I definitely do think that it really actually is. Omi Spaces is a really good name, very cutesy kind of name. I really definitely do like that because sometimes Omi can be used as basically as just space for a boy's name, but not really all that really basically really all that much and stuff like that. To be honest with you, when you basically look at the main protagonist space for him, it's basically to me is basis that I kind of feel I do feel what he feels and stuff like that, being a loner and stuff like that. Never had really friends or stuff like that. Never really have a relationship and stuff like that, and basically stuff like that. To be honest with you, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not really much of a people person, really all that much. I'm not saying I hate being around people. I'm not saying it or anything like that. I don't like being in crowds really that much because it kind of really makes me nervous and makes me very upset and stuff like that. And I'm not really basically too keen on basically meeting two people because when I meet two people, it doesn't make me nervous. It makes me kind of feel like I don't want to talk to somebody. I don't want to. I really don't because it doesn't really bother me basically really all that much. I'm not the biggest fan when it basically just basically like talking on the cell phone and stuff like that. I don't like talking on the phone. I really don't. The only time I only like talking on the phone is basically to my friends or to my family and stuff like that. Because my friends and my family, they know me. They know that I don't like talking really like on the phone because I'm not much of a social person to talk this on the phone because I do get a little bit social anxiety stuff like that. And am I shy? Not really. I'm not really shy and stuff like that. It's just I'm just not really that much. Basically, kind of like being open around people who I really don't know and stuff like that and stuff like that. If I feel like I don't want to talk to somebody, I feel like I don't want to. But if I feel like I do want to talk to me, I really definitely do and stuff like that. I don't mind you being nice and saying hi, good morning, whatever and stuff like that and stuff like that. But it really depends on my mood and stuff like that. If I feel like I feel all generous and I feel all hyper and I feel all happy, and then I definitely feel that personally, I definitely do. But to be honest with you, I definitely do think that he is kind of. I guess you probably will say he is a nervous, basic kind of a person because he doesn't know how to react and does not know how to basically to speak about how he feels when he mainly meets basically new people and basically stuff like that because he never really had friends and stuff like that. Like I said, before, I know how it feels to be a loner. To being a loner is something that you have to burst that you have to personally that you have to basically get used to, and that's something that you have to get used to. And it's a very hard conversation. It really actually is. Being a loner can make you very depressed. Being a loner can really make you sad. Sometimes being a loner can come in all different shapes of different forms and stuff like that. And sometimes being a loner can really basically turn it in a good way or basically into an ugly way or basically whatever that maybe is and stuff like that. To be honest with you, like I said before, I will say it again, I've been a loner pretty much most of my life. I got married and stuff like that, and I was happy. I was very accomplished, very happy about that. I don't mean to brag or anything like that, but even though I had a bad relationship with her and stuff like that, not saying her, but I had a bad relationship with my ex and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I do regret some of the things that may have happened back in the past and stuff like that. I make mistakes and stuff like that. I know God's going to judge me for that, and I definitely do know that. But if I was basically this young man right here, if I was just basically just to tell him, or basically just my son, if or any family members or anything like that, I would just personally would just tell him like, take your time, don't rush into things and stuff like that. Because if you rush into things and stuff like that, I say this for everyone for everyone, just to be honest with just to be honest, just for everyone, take your time. Don't rush into a relationship because if you rush into a relationship, you're going to end up hurting yourself, and you're also going to end up hurting basically a lot of others also as well too, and that could lead to basically a huge downfall upon yourself also as well too. And sometimes when you see seeing somebody being friends with somebody or something like that, it makes you feel kind of envious. It really basically stuff. To be honest with you, when I'm reading this manga and when I see this young lady right here, like she has a friend with another girl, or it's like kind of consider like as a girlfriend, I would definitely would say, not like relationship wise or anything like that. It makes me kind of envious. It really does. It makes me feel like I want to jump into the fray and say like, hey, my name is James. My name is this is that. I want, hey, can we be friends and stuff like that? Because usually, like if you don't, if you're afraid to make friends, and I understand people do get stressed out, do get nervous, do get social anxiety, and they do get shy. I want to tell people to be honest with people, just to tell them and stuff like that. Sometimes you have to break out of that shell. Sometimes you have to break out of that shell. Sometimes you have to step out the center, to step out the center. And let's just put it this way. Let's just put it this way. Let's just say that you have your circle. You have your circle right around you. You're standing in that circle. And the more you stand in that circle, the more that you're going to be self-centered for yourself. Sometimes that could be a good thing. Sometimes that could be a bad thing. Sometimes it could be other those other situations that it really basically kind of basically it feels for you. But if the more time you keep putting yourself in that center, you know, how are you going to step out of that center? How are you going to step out of there? Sometimes you have to step out of the center. Sometimes you have to break yourself free. Sometimes you have to do that. And sometimes what people would person would definitely do that. I had my ex girlfriend told me, she said like, James, if it weren't for you, you wouldn't have done a lot of great things for me, and I'm very happy that what you've done for me and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I was very happy that I really accomplished for what I accomplished. My ex that I had basically with her, she was very extremely shy. She was very shy, and she still is. She still is and stuff like that. She really actually is, and stuff like that. It's kind of like you're opening up a new beginning, like a new window of a new world for somebody to be involved in and to be involved in into your life. And when you open up that new beginning and you open that new door, that becomes either that's going to become some great things ahead of you is going to happen, or either that's going to become bad things going ahead of you and stuff like that. To be honest with you, I want people to really understand here is that I'm not perfect. I make mistakes and stuff like that. I do admit some of the things that I probably did. I kind of regret, and I probably did some things that kind of hurts me in a way, but also hurt her also as well too. But we still talk to each other. We still do. We don't hate each other or anything like that. But we still have feelings for one another, and we still definitely do. And sometimes it's hard to break those chains, and it's hard to break those chains to have those feelings for each other and stuff like that. And it really actually is. Sometimes it's very hard to personally really basically do that. But if, like I said before, if I would personally would definitely was him, I would just not rush into the situation, even though he's still exploring his sexuality, and even though that's normal for a teenager, but like I guess like 13 or 15 years old, so on. I guess. I mean, I really don't know. I was like hitting puberty right around that age and stuff like that. And sometimes people do have affections for each other because if you look closely at this girl right here, she's kind of like looking at him means that she has an affection for him, means that she probably has feelings for the MC because that she basically definitely does. And basically stuff like that. But when you run into somebody that really understands you, knows how you feel, and understands about the situations that you've gone through, it doesn't really mean, and it doesn't really only counts at the fact that you're going to get along with a person or basically really or not. But you have to understand. But you have to understand the boundaries and stuff like that. It's kind of like I said, you know, many times before. Like if you draw a line for yourself. Okay, and somebody steps into your line, how would you personally would definitely feel about that? But if you were to step out of that line, what would you do? That's why one thing I definitely will say it. Sometimes that line is it's like a wall. It's like a wall. Like it's guarding you from preventing you from somebody to come into your life and stuff like that. That's what it kind of feels to me. But if you really want someone to come into your life, they're gonna have to break every little bricks of that wall and say like, this is what I definitely do want. And to be honest with you, relationships are very difficult. They're not easy. They really are not easy. If you think that real life is easy, there's a problem with that. I would definitely want to say this. Look at for the aspect of basically rich people. Rich people, they go through difficult lives also well too. They probably have a lot more on their plate than what we do. What we do. Hey, hey, I may have got it easy. I may have got it easy because guess what? I have it easy because I make things hard because I make things rough. But I try to make things easier for myself. But I try to live my life as the base as the fullest. Because as for rich people, they're probably in the same boat as with us. They say, hey, maybe we can exchange boats and stuff like that. To be personally honest with you, I don't want to be rich. I'd rather just live a low income life and stuff like that. I would love to have all the stuff that they have, but you know what? It wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter to me. It was just personally was just basically like, yeah, it wouldn't make no sense to me. It wouldn't basically wouldn't. So it basically wouldn't. So that's my opinion. That's what I definitely do think. But I want to personally want to say here is that person want to definitely say here when you look at the relationship goals and stuff like that and going through life, it's kind of like you have to record everything back in your mind and just and play back. It's kind of like playing back all the episodes that you had back in your life. Like what can you learn from your past? You can learn from your mistakes, and you can learn from that, and you can adapt yourself based of that. So I would personally would definitely would just tell him, definitely tell him like look back to your past and learn from what you did, but try not to make them as much as worse as they are. If you do that, you're going to live a miserable life for the rest of your life. I'm sorry to say, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's what I definitely think. It makes it feels to me. And to be honest with you, keep your friends closer. Keep your families a lot closer, and keep your friends closer, but keep your enemies also closer also as well too. And that's a very good thing, and that's basically a very good thing, and stuff like that. You're going to have enemies that's going to wander around in the shadows. They're going to attack you all different kinds of different fronts. You just never know what's basically going to happen, stuff like that. To be honest, I guess I probably some people will say, James, you talk too much and stuff like that, in your videos and stuff like that. To be honest, I definitely do. But to be honest with you, I definitely think this manga is definitely is good. It's very enjoyable to read. I really definitely do really love it, and it does have a good different uh, aspects and stuff like that when it comes to real life and stuff like that, and when it comes to basically other different things. I had a friend told me one time, James, have you ever thought about making a YouTube channel, maybe making doing relationships? You seem like you're very good at it. To be honest, with you, I don't like doing that. I mean, I don't mind giving some advice to people, but I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to relationships because I have that experience and stuff like that. I don't know and stuff like that. That's basically what I definitely do think. But I definitely do learn a lot. I'm pretty smart, but I'm not really dumb. But I am very dumb. But anyways, I definitely do love this manga. I definitely do. I want to get volume number two. I can't wait to get this because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm very, very addicted to this and stuff like that. I just want to say thank you to Yen Press. Want to say thank you to Amazon also as well too. Unfortunately, I didn't buy this over Books Win, but next time if I do see this, I really want to definitely want to get it. And I'm very, very thinking buying manga. I have so much manga right now. I have not even reviewed and stuff like that as for yet. But yeah. Anyways, I definitely do think this is a very good genre. It really actually is. It's something. It's something to not to fantasize about, but to something to basically get sucked into also well too. But if you also dive into this really a lot, you will probably would understand the circumstances that you have gone through and what you have been through and stuff like that. And sometimes to look back in your childhood, it could be basically for a good thing for you, or it could be a bad thing for you, whatever how you basically were treated among your parents or basically among your family or your basically your relationships and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this manga review. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like this manga? Do you guys don't like it? Do you think it's a little too much for you, or do you think that it really actually is? I'd love to hear what you guys have to excuse me. I love to have you. I love to have you. Excuse me. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. Um, I highly recommend picking this up if you want to pick it up. I definitely would pick it up from Amazon or Crunchyroll store if you want to, or Books of Mine, which basically is a very good place to pick them up. That's what I definitely would do if you really want to. But yeah, anyways, this time I'll see you guys there. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me. And please leave a comment below. And until then, you guys take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Take care. And hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. And I hope you guys have a very good holiday season also as well too. And I know that can be very kind of rough for some people also as well too. So hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll try to see if I can get some more videos out sometime this week. If I don't, I'll try to do my very best I can. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Bye.